Hello, hello. Cindy here, Bucket List Coach, Web Show Live, and we'll be right back. Well, you're back in the studio, buddy. What's going on? Eddie Romo, Huntington Beach, California. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm going to play this video in honor of our dear friend. You can see back there, Dana Live. Yep. And so it's going to go about 9 minutes, and then we'll open up.
All right, perfect.
1 second.
Ask her with the... Yeah. How about that? It's cruise day.
Hey, thanks for leading the way for us.
How about that? Ed is a bomb, man. He organized this. Ed, you're the bomb. I tell you what. Ed had organized all this. Yeah. How about that? How cool. Yeah, slow down. Let him catch up to you. Yeah, that's what Ed said. How'd you guys get to be the lead? Was it a lotto? Yeah. All right, look at this duel. How about that? Wonderful. Yo, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Keep it rolling.
Hey. Wow. Whoa. What a pretty doggy. Police escort and all. 1,000 bikes organized by Ed Romo. Yo, yeah. Oh, happy board, yo. How about this? How we rock and we roll here in Huntington Beach. Yeah. It is Bike City, 4th of July style, COVID version. Oh, yeah. Woo! Yeah. Isn't this the bomb? Yeah.
Happy birthday, America.
How about that? How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, what up, bro? Yeah, hey, Don, what up? Yo.
All right. Wow, that was really tough to watch, buddy.
Yeah.
Wow. And he's with me every day. You can see right behind me there in the red.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with Diana Sullivan. So yeah, I mean that was the first year. Yeah, so 6 years now, right?
Yeah, this will be the 6th year. That was funny because I didn't even know Dano was going to be there, like out there, because I didn't even know it was going to be that big at all. And then all of a sudden Dano's there. That guy's incredible. He would just pop up. You never see him coming in or leaving. He would just be there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, let's talk about real quick, so kind of in his memory, what is one of your favorite memories of him?
Oh man, I have a lot. Wednesday nights when I would sit over at Killarney's and I'd have old music on to watch the cars cruising by, and he'd be a little farther down by Noko'oi, and then he'd like come all the way down and Ed Romo, and give me a fist pump, and then man, a lot. I mean, one day I went into Del Taco to grab some food real quick, and then he popped in and we just kicked back and just had conversation and ate lunch for a minute and then went on. But then the bike cruise, watching that video. And like I said, I didn't know he was even there because I was going back and forth during that ride. So I didn't have a chance to really, I've never been able to really ride in my bike cruise yet. I'm always kind of going to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back. So, but I didn't even know Dano was going to be there. Goes up. Everything that was going on that had to do with cars and any kind of special events, he was always there. So, and his personality is so bubbly. He just was like, you just see him and you just feel good. So, yeah. So every memory was good with him.
Yeah, and that's how I met Diana Sullivan, because we were at a surfing event together. We were at the U.S. Open. He goes, "Come on over here and take some videos," and then that's how we met her. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Another great one. Oh my gosh. So my girls call her Auntie Di.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my daughters when they were surfing, and then she would, then afterwards hang out with us, and she was definitely like their Auntie Di, because she was, every time they saw her, they'd run up to her and give her a big hug and and say, "Hi, Auntie Di," and then go on their way and do our things. But yeah, she's another one that's really close to the family. So
definitely a big part of our Ohana. So let's talk about what we got going on the first week of July.
So the first weekend of July is going to be, the bike cruise will be on July 5th this year.
Mm-hmm.
The city had asked if we could do it on July 5th to kind of help promote their block party. And so, the city's always willing to help us with, things that we would need. So we were like, yeah, happy to give back to the city and help them out. So, so it's going to be on July 5th this year, and I'll have flyers coming out. I'm actually, in a couple hours here, I'm going to be meeting with the girl to do the flyers. And
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, we already have the basics down. We're just kind of fine tuning it right now. And then, so we're going to be leaving at 11:30 instead of 10:30. So everybody has a chance to kind of sleep in, and, it'll be a slow morning after July 4th.
Yeah.
So just kind of relax, get up, kind of do what they need to do, and no rush, and then head down to Huntington Beach High School on Main Street so that they could, then we do the ride. Downtown, I'm going to be verifying all the bands, and I'm going to have bands down there at, as of right now, I'm going to have bands at Hurricanes, Perks.
Nice.
Cruisers, Killarney's, and Bruno's.
Okay.
So this week I'll be verifying all that and seeing what bands are going to be there and how everything's working out. And then, so it'll be 11:30. We'll be heading downtown and then kind of hitting the city's block party. Their block party will have Don, the Ramsey brothers band.
Yeah, you can see Don right there, Don and Mel's podcast. So do a big shout out to HB Unplugged. So that's Ed's digital card. So if you go to the link here and also in the show notes, you can get all the information about the upcoming event here on the 5th.
Yeah, and those guys too are just incredible with their show and
yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's giving everybody a chance in the city to see the people that are almost like behind the scenes, bringing them out. So they have a nice little setup. Of course, Mel is my MC for the cruise. I'm not a big talker or enjoyable to listen to, so I got to pull the guy in there. So man, that guy's incredible too. Another great guy. And Don, everybody knows Ramsey. He's all around the town. That guy, telling you, I know he's a triplet because there's no way he could do what he does.
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky in this city to have what we have. But yeah, so as far as the bike cruise, we'll be leaving at 11:30 instead of 10:30. We're going to be leaving on July 5th, the day after 4th of July, and then we'll be heading straight downtown, down Main again. And Main Street will be blocked at the end. We'll have the stage for the Ramsey Brothers and Redneck Rodeo. And then, but we will have all our bands right after the bike cruise. Will all be in the afternoon. So as soon as we arrive downtown, we'll have all the entertainment going for all of us. And then when we're kind of settling down is when Ramsey will come in and also Redneck Rodeo. And then they'll kind of finish off the night. And those will be on the street. All for the bike cruise, our bands will all be inside. So that's how we will be, going for that route.
You got Michael Gonzalez Jr. He says hello.
Oh, tell him I said hi,
Mayor
Mike.
Ed Romo.
Yeah, that's a guy I haven't seen in a while. That guy's a good. I think he's a big Rams fan, but I'm not sure. I'd have
Oh, go Rams, baby. Woo!
to. Yeah, he's a good friend. That guy.
And you're not a Rams fan, are you?
I'm a Rams fan. I'm a few teams. I like the Rams. My favorite right now would be Steelers. I like the Raiders, and I like Cowboys and the Rams.
Mhm.
I grew up in Anaheim Hills, so we
Oh, very
used to
cool. Wow.
and then we'd ride our bikes down the riverbed and go right past Anaheim Stadium. So yeah, I've been a Rams fan my whole life, really, until they moved to St. Louis, and then I kind of bounced around a little bit. But yeah, I like the Rams. But Michael,
Yeah, I'm actually going to be having Vince Ferragamo on the podcast, so you'll have to stay tuned for that.
Yeah,
he's a legend with the Rams. So we have NSC main office. I'm not sure which friend of yours. Do you know who runs that page?
NFC. I'm not sure. What did they say?
Hi, Uncle. You're the man. There's that one there.
That's got to be my niece Audrey, because I know that she's watching. So I know she works at a company, which means that she should be working and not playing right now. But, but we'll all keep that a little secret. Well, yeah, for us, it's mainly, we're doing almost the same thing we kind of normally do. A couple little variations here and there. Face painting for the kids. So I've got a couple artists right now, Melissa Murals, which out there face painting some of the kids. And then I'm going to try to get a few more. I'd like to get at least 5 if I could. So if there's anybody out there that wants to, donate some time and face paint some kids, feel free to, get a hold of you through this broadcast or get a hold of me. I'm on Facebook under Edward Romo. I'm also on Instagram. It's HB Bike Parade, I think, or Bike Cruise. And that way, if they want to, just get out there and help, paint some kids' faces, that'd be awesome. And everything we do it's for the community, by the community, and we don't charge anything. We don't try to make money. It's us. It's like going to a family reunion, and you just want to do whatever you can do for everybody. So, so if anybody wants to do that and come in and help and paint some faces and things like that, that'd be great. Everything else, we're pretty much set. It's just a basic neighborhood bike cruise. It is, now if you Google it, I guess it does say that we are the largest 4th of July bike ride in the United States. So, so that's pretty nice that here in Huntington, we did that.
And I put that on your website earlier today too. So you can look at that. So, Sean Cordes in the house. Another epic Huntington Beach resident. So big shout out to him. HB Quarantine Cuisine.
Locals getting together, going for a ride. We don't even think about how big it is. It's just more of how fun it is to get everybody together and the love that you feel and you see for everybody. People you haven't seen in a long time, and it's just awesome to see that going on. And people that don't ride the bikes all the time and get out there, they're having fun and they're just like, wow, I really miss this. So, I think it's just a fun thing to do for everybody. And then downtown, all of our sponsors, they're all locals and they're all just saying, what do you need? What do you want? It makes it nice. So
we have another comment here from Sean Cordes. You see his comment?
I don't have my glasses on. I can't. Can you read it?
Are you guys going to be stopping by any of the downtown restaurants? You want to do a plug again for the downtown restaurants?
Yeah. So the restaurants that I have that are sponsored, even though I'd like to plug all of them because they're all incredible. But the ones that are sponsors for downtown are Hurricanes, upstairs on the left side. Great. They have some really good food in there. Great people. It's a fun little local place. It's like a bigger bar and grill, but it's a lot of locals. Perks, of course, I think it's the oldest bar downtown. They're one of the sponsors. They have great bands on the weekends. Another one we have is Killarney's. Killarney's has been around for a long time. They're always willing to help. We go in there and, it's like, hey, what can we do for you guys? What can we do? They're always willing to do for the locals a lot. And then we have Cruisers, which is fairly new. A lot of people don't know it because it's on 5th Street. They're really, really good with UFC fights. So if you're really into the UFC fighting and boxing matches, if there's big ones, that's the place to go. They really have a lot of, they really kind of cater to those people. They have some pretty good food in there, and it's a really good sports bar. The way their TVs are set up and everything, they're really good with sports. Bruno's is another one. They're kind of going through some changes. Changes are looking pretty good in there. They're what used to be, it was Legends a long time ago. Then I went to Surf City Ale House. And now Bruno's is kind of trying to divide it up a little bit and make it seem a little bit more cozy in there. Mm-hmm. Owner's a great guy. They will be hosting our veterans. I have 20 veterans that'll be getting a free lunch. They get the free saying thank you, and they get a free lei by Tina Toulouse, handmade by Tina. And then so they're another great sports bar to go in there. They have some good TVs in there, but yeah, I mean, besides that, I mean, everybody downtown is good. Rock and Fig will be, Surf Shop will be a little bit involved this year also. Well, I'm trying to think of everything else down there. I mean, pretty much every place down there is just nice, but we will be ending downtown. So almost all the restaurants are great. And there's a lot of people that want to get involved. And, I mean, everybody downtown just, they love it because it's us coming into town, us locals, and they're like, hey, what can I do? What can I do? What can we do? So, later on, I'll be seeing, getting everything, more information about all that. And then, I'll let everybody know. We'll let you know first, Cindy.
Well, we have a comment from Sean. Can you read that?
No.
25 Degrees wants to help as well. Yeah, so he'll connect you guys for that.
Okay, yeah, and that's another one too. They have on Monday nights. They have a $20 all-you-can-eat. I think it's prime rib.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's getting pretty popular, and that's a great place. They've been having bands during the week upstairs. You can hear the bands on the weekends. They're having some pretty good bands. Mm-hmm. They're really kind of reaching out more and doing a little bit more things for the locals and for downtown. So, yeah, there's a lot of people in there that are like dear friends that I've known for years. Great people in there. But yeah, 25 Degrees is another good one that's downtown. But like I said, there's a few that have been around that are doing things. But 25 Degrees, I think, has really made a really big improvement on their entertainment in there. Bands are getting better and better and better. If you're in there, say hi to Kelly Hall. She's one of, I think, the most beautiful women that I've ever met. She is so beautiful, so sweet, so nice, treats everybody with respect.
That's amazing.
And she can sing. So yeah, 25 Degrees is a great place up there too. So yeah, Sean, just get a hold of me and we'll see what we can do.
Well, we're coming at the end of the show, and I'm going to be talking about this over the next 3 or 4 months. So we're actually looking for a kidney donor for Sean Cordes. I've actually been going through, I went through some tests today. It's about a 4-month process. So if you know him like I do, he does so much for the community. He started the HB Quarantine page. So please check his page out. There should be some links there for our upcoming fundraiser. We actually have a fundraiser at Descanso Restaurant coming up the end of July. So get tested, reach out to Sean, or you can reach out to me, and we could give you all the links for the Kidney Foundation. Super important to support our brother when he's done so much for the city of Huntington Beach. So anything else you'd like to plug here for a couple minutes, and then we'll close out?
I mean, we've got some realtors in there. Amber Keating is a realtor. She's willing to help. I've got Jim Miller, and I have another one. It's the Orange County Women's Entrepreneurs. And,
okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they this will be their first year jumping in a little bit. So, it's always nice to see that, and see people out there and, our women to get out there and do what they what they can do, because they're, I have 2 daughters and I don't have any sons, but, I always told my daughters, you can do anything that a guy can do, and, we get out there and, my daughters have never, ever said to me, like, oh, well, I'm a girl, I can't do that. That's,
Mhm.
they don't see that, that's not a thing for them. So so to see Orange County women out there is like being entrepreneurs. It's like, yeah, for me, it'd be a natural thing. But when they had approached me, um, I go, yeah, you know what? I want you in here because I want you guys I want people to know, that you guys are out there doing this, and you should be proud, not saying that it's hard for them to do it, but it's more of, sometimes people don't look at them as, you know, with as much respect, let's say, because they're a woman. And it's like, I don't believe that. So it's like, you know what, let's help them out, because people, there's always somebody out there that'll try to push you down and
Mhm.
down more. And it could be anything, male, female, it could be your race, it could be your religion, it could be your, whatever political side you're on. So to me, it's always, people that get pushed on, I like to try to help them out and lift them up, if we can. So when she approached me, I'm like, hey, I don't know how big you are, but if we can make you any bigger than you are, let's do that. So
Yeah, and it's about empowering each other. So that's what's pretty crucial about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of the other ones that have got in there, but basically, yeah. And then some are just, they're like, oh, we don't really need to be known. But a lot of locals will, they're all just offering, what can we do? I mean, Melissa Murals, look at her, she had offered, I think last year, and I wasn't able to hit her up to do it. But, this year I was like, I think it'll be nice to have the kids doing that. So I asked her, if the offer was still there, and she was all excited, of course. She's like, yeah, I'll do that. So